There is a great mystery that surrounds the nature of love, and even greater is the mystery of the power within you, the power to command, to attract, to summon forth from the unseen realm every circumstance, every person, and every expression of affection that your heart truly desires. The very air you breathe is saturated with the essence of possibility. You live in a world shaped not by the outer actions of others, but by the inner assumptions you carry about them. What you assume to be true in the secret chambers of your mind becomes the script they unknowingly follow. This is not fantasy, it is law. And when it comes to love, to being desired with such intensity that the very thought of you becomes oxygen to someone else, this law works just the same. If you dare to act like they can't breathe without your love, the world will conform to reflect that exact truth. Social conformity, a cruel form of love, is mystery. You are not here to chase, to beg, or to convince. You are not a fleeting thought in someone else's chaotic mind. You are the very epicenter of their desire, if you believe it to be so. You are not here to wonder if they think about you. You are here to know that they do. You are not here to wish that you mattered. You are here to decree with absolute inner authority that you are the heartbeat they cannot live without. And once you accept that, once you move into the boldness of that assumption, the laws of consciousness begin to shape reality around you in startling and beautiful ways. You understand that the world is not outside of you, that everything you experience, every message, every gesture, every moment of silence is simply an echo of your inner belief. If you accept this, then you must also accept that love is not won by action, but by inner conviction. The person you desire to love, you to be so enthralled by your presence that the mere idea of losing you causes them to ache. They already exist in that state within your imagination. And if they exist in your imagination, they are more real than anything you can touch or see, because imagination is the womb of creation. The moment you imagine them yearning for you, aching for your presence, cherishing your essence as though it were the breath in their lungs, you have given birth to that reality. There is a version of them already in love with you. There is a version of them who lies awake thinking of you, who rereads your texts, who listens for your voice in a crowd, who checks their phone for signs of you. That version of them exists now, not in some distant future, but in this moment, in the eternal now. But it is not their job to find that version. It is yours. It is your responsibility to inhabit that vision so completely, so confidently, that the world must rearrange itself to mirror it. When you act like they can't breathe without your love, not from a place of arrogance, but from a quiet, serene knowing, you become the flame to which they are irresistibly drawn. This is not about manipulation. It is not about games. It is about truth. The truth that your imagination is the only creative force in this universe. The truth that what you feel and persist in feeling within yourself must by universal law harden into fact. The truth that love, like all things, is first experienced in consciousness before it is ever lived in the flesh. So how do you act like they can't breathe without your love? You begin within. You construct, in the sacred silence of your mind, a world where your love is their most vital need, where your presence is the sunlight in their sky, where the absence of you is felt like the coldness of space. You walk through the world with the quiet dignity of one who knows they are adored. You speak, think, and feel as though their heart is already tethered to yours, as though their soul calls out to yours with every heartbeat. You do not beg, you do not wait, and you do not hope. You know. And that knowing is a force more powerful than any word spoken aloud. For when you dwell in that knowing, you become magnetic. You become the vibration of love itself, and all things must bend to that frequency. Every thought Do not worry about what they said. Do not fear what they did not say. Do not interpret the silence. You are not subject to their moods or their memories. You are the author. You are the dreamer. And if you will persist in this dream, if you will move as though it is already done, you will find the evidence rise to meet you. Their words will change. Their actions will change. Their desire will intensify, not because you forced it, but because you believed it. And belief is creation. Feel now what it would feel like to be the one they cannot stop thinking about, to be the one whose absence burns in their chest, to be the one they crave like oxygen. Close your eyes and see it. Hear the way they say your name, with longing, with reverence, with awe. Imagine their arms around you, their eyes searching yours as if trying to memorize every detail of your being. See the messages they send, unprompted, pouring out their feelings, confessing what they once denied. Feel the deep satisfaction, the stillness, the certainty that you are and have always been their greatest desire. And once you've felt it, don't let it go. Carry it with you as you go about your day. When you wake up in the morning, smile. Not because they've said something, but because you already know they will. When you walk into a room, do so with the presence of one who is deeply loved. When you hear silence, fill it with your assumption. When you see distance, replace it with your knowing. The world is only responding to your inner world. Change that, and everything changes. You may ask, but what if I don't believe it yet? Then begin with imagination. Pretend. Pretend so vividly that it begins to feel like memory. Pretend until your body reacts with warmth, with butterflies, with joy. Pretend until the fantasy becomes a feeling. And once it becomes a feeling, it becomes a frequency. And frequency is the language the universe understands. The more you dwell in the frequency of being loved, so deeply, so desperately, so completely, the more your world reshapes to confirm it. Let go of trying to make something happen out there. That is not your role. Your role is to create within. And once you do, the outer world must reflect it as surely as a mirror reflects your face. The love you seek is already yours the moment you feel it. The desire you wish to awaken in them already exists. It only needs to be activated by your faith in it. You are not attracting anything. You are selecting the version of them that already feels that way. And you select it by becoming the version of you who is already loved. You must be unwavering. You must be bold in your assumption. Doubt has no place here. Not because doubt is a sin, but because doubt simply creates delay. It sends mixed signals to the universe. It tells the mirror to reflect chaos. But when you are steady, when you choose the end and dwell in it, when you act, feel, and live as if they already cannot breathe without you, then the world must comply. They must feel the shift. They may not understand why, but they will begin to see you differently, feel you differently, need you in ways they never did before. Not because they changed, but because you changed the version of them you're focused on. Acting like they can't breathe without your love doesn't mean arrogance or control. It means deep inner certainty. It means you stop asking when they'll come and start knowing that they already have. It means you speak less about the lack and more about the fulfillment. It means you align every thought, every word, every breath with the version of you who is already cherished beyond measure. You must become the embodiment of that love, not in performance, but in energy. You must radiate it, carry it, and dwell in it so completely that the old version of them fades away and the new one steps in, like a sunrise over a dark horizon. There are no limits to what you can create when you persist in your assumption. If you assume they miss you, they will. If you assume they want you, they will. If you assume that life without you is unbearable, then that reality must unfold. But you must persist. Not once, not twice, but continuously. You must dwell in that inner world more often than you dwell in doubt or fear. You must return to it every time you are tempted to react to what is. The outer world is a shadow. It will catch up, but it will always lag behind your inner state. So live in the end, speak from the end, love from the end. You are the operant power. You decide the meaning of everything. And if you decide that you are the source of their joy, their peace, their passion, then they must respond accordingly. You are not waiting for them to choose you. You are choosing the version of them who already has. You are not praying to be seen. You are seeing yourself through the lens of love, and that vision is contagious. It infects reality with your truth. It whispers into the consciousness of the other until they awaken to your presence, as though waking from a dream they never wanted to leave. Let this become your new reality, not in moments, but in every moment. Saturate your mind with the feeling of being desired. Walk with it, sleep with it. Let it become your dominant frequency. Let no external evidence shake your knowing. That is how you command the winds of love. That is how you breathe life into the version of them who cannot breathe without you. That is how you reclaim your power, not through effort, but through imagination, disciplined by faith. Now, as you walk through the world embodying this truth, you will notice subtle shifts. The energy around you changes. You begin to draw glances, attention, warmth, not just from the one you desire, but from strangers, from the universe itself. That's because you are no longer seeking love. You are being love. You are no longer asking for attention. You are assuming that you are the center of it. The frequency of being loved unconditionally is irresistible. It is a silent broadcast, a whisper in the ether that says, I am wanted. I am chosen. I am essential. This shift does not come from repetition alone, but from saturation. Saturating your mind with the feeling of being needed so deeply that your absence is felt like hunger, like thirst. Let it become so real to you that you no longer even care. If they haven't said it yet, you know it. You feel it, you live in the certainty of it. And then, as if out of nowhere, they will say it. They will write it. They will show up and express it, not because you willed it, but because your assumption created the conditions for its expression. Remember, it is not the external action that creates the love you desire. It is your consciousness. The act of being loved is not earned through effort. It is claimed through identity. You must identify as the one who is already loved to that degree. Feel it in your bones. Imagine walking into the room and the air shifts because you are there. Imagine their chest tightening with longing just from the scent of your presence. Imagine that they think of you before they sleep and wake up with you on their mind, not because you chased them, but because you became the version of you who is magnetic to such devotion. And should doubt creep in, because it will, for doubt is a habit of the old self, do not fight it. Simply return. Return to your throne. Return to the scene in your mind where they look at you with breathless adoration. Return to the feeling of their arms pulling you close as if to say, don't ever leave, and stay there. Let that feeling eclipse all evidence to the contrary. You are not reacting to what is. You are creating what will be. This is the sacred art of conscious creation. This is the divine power you were born with, and now you are choosing to wield it. This love you imagine is not fantasy. It is memory in advance. It is truth emerging through the layers of belief. And each time you imagine, each time you feel into that end, you collapse the timeline between desire and manifestation. Time obeys consciousness. Space bends around assumption. And so, the one you love begins to dream of you, begins to crave you, begins to see you with new eyes, because you have changed the blueprint. They are no longer responding to your words or your appearance. They are responding to your vibration, to the new script you have written in the language of feeling. Let yourself indulge in it. Let yourself fall madly in love, not just with them, but with a version of reality where this love is mutual, consuming, and divine. Let your mind feast on visions of their obsession, their reverence, their overwhelming gratitude to simply be in your life. Make this your dominant reality, and you will soon find it mirrored in phone calls, in chance meetings, in moments so precise and perfect that you will know they came not from coincidence, but from consciousness. You are the God of your reality, not a beggar, not a victim, not an observer, but the creator. And as creator, you have the right and the power to mold this life into the most exquisite expression of love. There is no need to ask if it's working. If you feel it, it's working. If you persist, it must come. That is law. There are no exceptions. The universe is exact in its response to belief. It does not respond to pleading. It responds to certainty. So be certain, not in arrogance, but in reverence. Reverence for your power, for your ability to feel something so deeply, it must become real. And when the old thoughts try to return, when you are tempted to check their social media, to search for signs, pause. Remind yourself you are not chasing a version of them who does not see you. You are becoming the version of you who is seen so clearly, so completely, that nothing else makes sense. You are not reacting, you are commanding. You are not wishing, you are knowing. This is the difference between delay and destiny. Speak to them within. When the outer world is silent, go inward and speak directly to their heart. Whisper into their spirit that you are already theirs, that you have already chosen them, that your love surrounds them like the air. And know that they feel it, even if they cannot explain it, even if they try to resist it, even if they deny it. They will feel the pull, they will feel the shift, because your inner word, your imagination, is the only thing that shapes their behavior in your world. And the more you speak from the end, the faster they align with that end. So stop waiting, stop wondering, stop measuring time. Instead, inhabit the scene of fulfillment, not as a visitor, but as a resident. Make your home in that state of love so essential, so fiery, so consuming, that it becomes your identity. Wear it like a second skin. Carry yourself with the certainty of one whose love is not optional, but vital. Of one who is the center of their universe, the fire in their soul, the silence they cannot bear. And when you do, they will reflect it, not because you manipulated them, but because you selected the version of them who already felt this way. Every person is infinite in possibility. There are endless versions of them, each tuned to a different version of you. Choose wisely. Choose the version who worships you, who needs your love like they need breath, and then become the you who belongs to that reality. Do not step out of that version no matter what. Be consistent. Be relentless in your knowing. Be bold in your self-concept. The world will try to distract you with appearances. It will try to convince you that nothing is happening. But that's only because it is catching up. You have already planted the seed. The moment you imagined, you claimed. And the moment you felt it real, it was set into motion. The delay you perceive is only the gestation of what you already birthed in consciousness. Hold fast, stay faithful, and the harvest will arrive, glorious and full. They will speak your name like a prayer. They will remember you in the quiet moments. They will wonder what spell you cast, what changed, why you feel so different. And they will not be able to resist the pull, because you became the source of their oxygen. You became the breath they didn't know they were missing. And now they cannot live without you. Not because you forced it, but because you became the version of you they cannot live without. Feel into that now, not with longing, but with fulfillment, as if it's already done. See yourself in their arms. Hear their voice tremble when they tell you they can't imagine life without you. See the tears in their eyes when they realize what they nearly lost. Taste the sweetness of their confession. Let it sink into your bones. This is your reality, this is your truth. And nothing, no delay, no appearance, no memory can take that from you, unless you give it permission. You are loved. You are needed. You are the air they breathe. Now walk like it, think like it, feel like it, and the world, like a faithful servant, will bow to your conviction. There is a sacred silence in which all creation takes place. It is not a silence of absence but of potency, a womb-like stillness where the soul whispers its desires into the fabric of the universe. When you sit in that silence and feel the truth of your love being craved, needed, and cherished by them, you are not imagining in vain. You are issuing a decree. You are altering the entire landscape of your reality. And though the outside world may not shift instantly, it is already changing beneath the surface. The roots are forming, the blueprint is being followed. The echo of your inner word is returning to you as form. Every time you return to that assumption, every time you close your eyes and dwell in the end, you add fuel to the fire of your creation. This is how you sustain the vibration of love so powerful, so necessary, that they feel it in their chest as a longing they cannot explain. They begin to see you everywhere, hear your name in conversations, feel a tug in their heart when they remember your smile. They are not aware of what has shifted, only that something within them has begun to move toward you, like the tide pulled by the moon. And you are that moon, silent but irresistible, luminous and ever-present. You must understand, there is no effort greater than faith. There is no action louder than feeling. What you feel in the depths of your being is what becomes. So if you feel unwanted, the world will echo that. If you feel indispensable, it must also echo that. And if you choose, day after day, to inhabit the state of being, the love they cannot live without, the object of their deepest desire, the one whose love redeems and ignites them, then nothing can stop that vision from taking form. This is why you must be disciplined, not in action, but in awareness. You must notice the moments when fear tries to speak, and you must interrupt it with certainty. When doubt suggests you have imagined too much, you must remind yourself that everything you see now was once imagined by someone. Your vision is not foolish, it is divine, and if you honor it, if you return to it with reverence, it will reward you with a life so rich in love, you will wonder how you ever settled for less. Let go of timelines. The moment you set a date, you tell the universe that now is not enough. You place your dream into the future and rob it of power. Instead, claim it now, feel it now, embody it now. Walk through your life not as one hoping to be loved, but as one already overwhelmed by it. Let every breath you take be an act of love received. Let every step be filled with the quiet assurance that you are thought of, desired, longed for, and your absence is heavy, your presence electric. They will come, they will crumble under the weight of their longing. They will reach for you not out of habit but out of hunger, and it will feel sudden to them but not to you, for you have lived it 1,000 times in your inner world. You have tasted the sweetness of their love in your imagination, and now the physical must catch up. It is law, it is unavoidable. You are not here to beg for scraps of affection. You are the feast. You are not here to be tolerated or second-guessed. You are here to be worshipped by the one whose soul you already claim through your unwavering vision. Stop measuring their words. Start measuring your own assumptions. That is where your power lies, not in what they say or do, but in what you persist in feeling to be true. And what you persist in feeling will flood into your reality like a dam breaking open. This is the art of possession by assumption. You do not chase what is already yours. You do not plead for what already exists. You do not ask permission to be loved. You decide, you determine, you dwell. And as you dwell, you reshape the contours of your world. It is done the moment you say it is. It is real the moment you feel it is. That is the nature of reality, subjective, fluid, impressionable, molded not by the will of others, but by the certainty of your inner state. So rise each morning not with worry, but with gratitude. for the love that is already flowing toward you, for the desire that is already building in them, for the magnetic bond that your faith has forged. And when you encounter their presence, treat it as the arrival of what you already knew would come. Do not react with surprise, respond with the poise of one who expected nothing less. When they text you at midnight confessing their thoughts have been consumed by you, do not tremble, smile. You knew. When they reach out and say they can't stop thinking of you, that they miss you more than they thought possible, let your heart swell, but not from shock, from confirmation. Because you walked this path before, you dreamed this moment, you summoned this love, and now it is here. Never doubt that your inner world is the only cause. Never waver in your commitment to the vision. What you focus on expands. What you assume becomes your experience. And so, focus only on the version of them who craves your love like breath itself. Focus only on the timeline where their devotion is absolute. Feel the texture of that relationship. See the sparkle in their eyes when they speak to you. Hear their voice tremble with emotion as they confess, I can't live without you. And know that these are not fantasies. They are previews. They are glimpses into the future you are constructing now with your faith, your focus, and your refusal to entertain anything less. You do not need proof. You are the proof. Your conviction is the evidence. And if you persist, if you continue to act and feel as though their love is already yours, the world will bow before that reality. So breathe deeply, smile often. Let your inner conversations be filled with mutual adoration, shared memories, sweet nothings. Speak to them in your mind with kindness, passion, certainty. Feel their presence next to you, even when they are not physically near. Create the bond so vividly that the universe has no choice but to reflect it. And it will. It must. Love is not something you earn, it is something you allow, and you allow it by assuming its presence. The more you act like they can't breathe without your love, the more they begin to feel that truth in their own hearts. Not because you told them, but because you told yourself. And the universe heard, you are the sun in their sky, the thought they carry through the day, the warmth that finds them in the dark. Live in that knowing. Let no external noise shake your inner vision. Let no delay weaken your assumption. Stand tall in the frequency of being desired, so fully that your name itself becomes a source of joy. You are the beloved. You are the miracle. You are the breath they hold, the beat they skip, the dream they return to. So embody it, own it, become it, and the world will show you the evidence, not once, not occasionally, but consistently, overwhelmingly, undeniably. You are not imagining them loving you. You are remembering it from the place where all things are already complete. The mind, when properly directed, is not a wishful dreamer, it is a divine architect. And your imagination is not a place of escape, but the source of every reality you have ever known. Everything that exists in your life today, whether it was wanted or unwanted, arrived by invitation of the ideas you once held. So now you are holding something higher. You are daring to believe that your love is not only reciprocated, but necessary to them. That without it, they feel incomplete, disoriented, hollow. And this belief, if you nurture it, will reshape their inner world as well. Thought is telepathic. Feeling is contagious. You don't need to say anything with your mouth to plant your vision into the soil of their soul. It happens every time you sit in stillness and feel their arms around you, their lips brushing against your skin, their eyes meeting yours with a depth that says, you are everything to me. That feeling, carried long enough, believed deeply enough, creates a bridge between your world and theirs. And across that bridge, The version of them who worships you walks steadily into your life. Don't fall into the trap of watching and waiting. That is the posture of one who doubts. And you are not here to doubt. You are here to command through stillness, to create through inner fire. Don't ask the mirror to change before you smile. Smile first, assume first, act first, and then the mirror must reflect your choice. That is how this works. That is the key to becoming the magnetic force of love in someone's life. When you act like they can't breathe without your love, you are not pretending, you are choosing. You are selecting from infinite versions of reality and declaring, this one is mine. And the universe, which does not argue or negotiate, simply aligns to your command. What you persist in being becomes what they must respond to. It is not about mind games or tricks. It is about vibration, alignment. And as you walk deeper into this truth, you will notice the world bending with you. Songs will play with lyrics that speak your desire. People will mention their name. You'll see signs, synchronicities, undeniable evidence that your inner world is leading. Do not dismiss these. Celebrate them. Each one is a nod from the universe that your assumption is landing. Each one is a whisper saying, keep going. It's working. You are not required to make sense of the how. You are only required to remain faithful to the what. And the what is clear. They love you.